Hi everyone, so in this video I'm going to talk about a better route planner and how it works on the Polestar 2. If you don't already know, a better route planner is it's a route planning app that is a little bit like using Google Maps, but has been designed more with the intention of helping EV drivers to plan the routes that they're going to drive, especially when you're doing long distance driving, and to give you some help with planning your charging stops and get you to your destination with a minimum hassle. So this app was created, I actually saw one of the Tesla Beyond videos on YouTube where he spoke to the guy, one of the guys who created this app, and it was actually designed by some EV drivers, I believe, who wanted to have an app that would help them get to their destination. Now, something like Google Maps is great. It works really well in the Polestar because it does give you advice and guidance on where to charge. But if you don't have that kind of app on other cars, then a better route planner is a really good option. Now you can download this on your phone. It works on Android, on iPhone as well. And what you can do is you can put your starting location in and your destination. You can tell it what car you've got. You can modify the consumption. You can put in your state of charge when you start and what you'd like to end up with, and it will plan your route for you, and it will also tell you where to stop and charge. And that's an incredible useful thing to have, especially when you're, so say for example you're driving from the south of England to Scotland. It's really nice to have some kind of idea of what you're doing, and a better route planner is a fantastic tool for any EV driver to use in order to achieve that. So in this video, I'm just going to have a look at a better route planner on the Polestar. I haven't used it very much, but I'll just go through some of the features and we'll have a look at it together and see what it offers. Okay, so having a look here at the app screen, you can see there's actually a couple of new things if you haven't seen this before, but there's a video player app available now, and I'll go through that another time. A couple of other random things like this audio crate thing, but a better route plan is this icon here. So click on that and you are provided with this screen here that actually is quite a nice map display. It's a little bit different to Google Maps. I quite like the way it displays things, and you can see it actually displays the charges on the map. So you could click on that. Let's see, does that, yeah, there you go. So that's telling us that that's Bannatyne's Health Club, Norwich, Instavolt. What has it got there? So, well, it's even telling us there's a Premier Inn nearby, Chademo CCS, facilities information. So you can click on this and get some info. Scroll through these things. What does it do if I click on? It's telling me about, yeah, so it's just telling me some random features along the way there. If I click on, I'm just clicking on random stuff just to see what it does. Okay, so link viewer there. I guess if we scan that with a QR code, it's gonna give us some information on the phone, so that's cool. But yeah, just going back to the main page. So if we're on this is the front page of the display. If you click on the top right, you get a login screen, so you can set up your own login. You can pay for premium. If I click on premium, it says you can put all your vehicles in one account, see them on the map, and easily choose the one you're using. You can save the history of your driving. You also get weather forecasts, live weather data for planning, which is good, real-time traffic information for better accuracy, and real-time charge availability and forecasting. So for many people, this would be a really good thing to, you can share your vehicle data to have. Apple Watch as well, Apple CarPlay. What else have we got? Charging notifications, get notified when it's 10 and 5 minutes left to continue your trip. Geofencing notifications. So there's a lot of stuff there on premium. If I click get premium, what does it do? Probably gives us a QR code. Let's try. So get premium. So it doesn't actually work. So this is one of those interesting things. If you you'll probably see that there are a few glitches in the app. Oh, there we go. So now we've got a better route planner QR code to scan, and that will take us to the page to sign up. But otherwise, you can log in, you can see your drives, and then you've got a settings button here. Now this lets you fiddle around with some of your car info. So it automatically knows I'm in the Polestar. The starting charge of the car, I could change that. Reference consumption, that seems very low to me. I don't know why it's got that number there. Again, I haven't used this app very much, so I'm walking through it like watching. Now, is it pulling that from previous data? That's something that I'll have to try and figure out over the next few drives. I don't know where it would get such a low number from. Now that I deleted that, it bumped up to 34.4, which, to be fair, is almost exactly what I have on my previous trip. So if you look at this, trip manual there showing 34.1 kilowatt hours per 100 miles from the last 310 miles. So I'd say that's pretty accurate. So no need to fiddle around with that. You can change batteries and chargers here. So you can, I want to see fast CCS chargers, charge availability. Now if I try and turn that on, it's going to say I need to get premium. So network preferences, you can type in preferences if you'd like there. Charges to avoid, so you can so if I was to find, like, tell you what would be a good one, maybe would be like Ionity. If you wanted to avoid paying a lot of money for an Ionity charger, you could tell it that you don't want to see that on your display, but I'm going to leave that for now. So yeah, that was batteries and chargers. So destination arrival state of charge, that's quite a useful one. You might want to set a higher percentage. So say, for example, you're traveling somewhere, you don't want to arrive with a low battery, you want to arrive with enough battery to see the local area, you could set that higher. Charger arrival state of charge, if you don't want to risk getting too low with your charge before you charge again. Charger maximum allowed when charging, you might want to change that to say 80%, for example, if you never want to charge using this app any higher than that. Battery degradation, you can customize that. Charging overhead time at every charging stop, a higher value here will lead to fewer but longer stops. Then you can fiddle around with speed, maximum speed 93 miles an hour. That's set quite high, but again you can see there's a display issue there, and if I click on this, I can't actually, it's not giving me a pop-up to change. So there's a couple of things on the app so far that are more display issues. Adjust the lower speed, and then you've got road conditions. So you can, if I click, you can see, there we go. It's now got something, so I could put in a manually adjusted headwind, for example. Temperature, so that's, see, that doesn't seem to have pulled it in from the car. That's an interesting one. 2 degrees, that's not correct. So at the moment it's 8, so I could change it to be a bit colder. I don't know if that's going to affect much. It does affect things in real life, but whether or not the app actually changes the consumption based on that, I don't know. So you can change the road condition. Avoid routes, extra weight, so you've got notifications, display theme. So that's quite cool, really. You've got a dark or light, so you're automatic, in fact. There we go. So actually that's gone to the light display theme. I quite like the dark one. I'm going to go back to the dark one because I find that easier. It's a bit laggy, to be honest. Like, it's not as snappy as Google Maps to use. So what have we got? Navigation. Did I look at that already? Route directions. Show route directions while driving. Voice guidance. Street names and reset. So that's the core of the settings that you've got available. So let's look at an actual route. So if I go starting point and I put, let's start at my current location, and I'll put destination here. I have to go to Norfolk actually in a couple of days time. I need to go to Norwich for work, and I'm going to plan a route. So let's just hit the blue button and off we go. Now it is loading. Let's see how long this takes. Okay, there we go. So it's saying 2 hours and 53 minutes of driving, but the actual route will take 3 hours and 15 with one 22-minute charging stop. Now my state of charge is only 53%, and that's displayed down here. Now another nice thing that I must mention is that the app apparently shows your charging speed in kilowatts, and that's really useful. So you can actually get some proper charging data now from the Polestar, because it doesn't show that on the main display. But we'll get to see that in a couple of days' time when I drive up to Norwich. So it's saying I'm going to leave here with 53%, drive for 1 hour and 4 minutes, 61 miles, and stop at this BP here, this pulse, and go from 18 up to 65%. 22 minutes, and then another hour and 48 minutes, and arrive at Norwich with 10%, which is great. So if I click on that will, so now I can make some changes here. So I could say arrival state of charge, I could change that, and this is the charging power, add a stop around this waypoint and put some notes in. If I go back, now this is the thing I wanted to do, right? So say I leave here, I actually don't want to just depart with 53%, I'm going to depart with 80%. And let's put that in and go back. Oops. Now that's the first mistake. You've got to hit the blue button. and it'll recalculate. So I've now told it I'm going to leave with 80%, and it's saying to drive 61 miles, get down to 45%, charge in the same place up to 65%, and arrive at Norwich with 10%. Now if I click on this one and I think, actually I don't want to arrive with 10%, I want to arrive with 50%, because I have some things I need to do there. I might be driving around the area. I don't want to have to find a charger as soon as I arrive at Norwich. So this is really useful because Google Maps doesn't give you this. So now I'm going to leave home. I'm going to do the same thing. It's saying to stop for 5 minutes, and then it's saying to go to this one, stop there for 21 minutes, and then go to Norwich and arrive with 50%. That's a really silly stop, to be honest, but I guess it thinks we just need enough. So if you'd planned this and you're thinking, okay, well that's annoying, I think what I'll do is I'll just charge up to 90% instead at home, and it eliminates that point. No, it didn't. It still gave me that weird stop. What if I try 100%? Because that seems a bit silly to stop for 5 minutes. Why would you want to stop for 5? Literally barely worth plugging in. So it still did it. So it's saying to, yeah, it's really weird. I don't see why you would do that, but that's one of those things. This might be something you could change. You could reconfigure it to suit you better. If I then, let's see what happens if I drop this down to, say I drop it down to 35%. And then let's see what happens. And bear in mind, I am not a professional at using a better route planner. I use it a little bit on my phone. So there are many things you can configure in this app to make it work better for you. So it's still doing the same thing. It's saying to stop at the same location for 5 minutes and then 7 minutes. But it's quite interesting to see how it works it out. And you can do all kinds of things with it. I could say I'm leaving here with 30%. And what I like about it is the ability to pre-plan. So with Google Maps, it's very much about what you have at the time. It isn't so much about what you theoretically might do. And this is really good for planning and figuring out where you stand. So yeah, let's try 30%, and then it'll give us some other options. So actually this time it's saying to drive to it's 6-mile drive to that 17 minutes. To drive to Hand Cross and charge for 16 minutes there on the BP, then to go to the next one. It's got a lot of stops actually in this. It's asking me to stop very frequently. So let's try a totally different route. Let's try let's go back. Hopefully it doesn't freeze on me. Oh, maybe it was because I left in maybe I accidentally left something in there. Let's just try this one more time and let's see if that makes it any better. I might have accidentally left in a waypoint in between, so it was like forcing me to stop there. But again, this is what you learn when you experiment with these kinds of things as much as possible. Yeah, so now it's showing a slightly different thing. On this basis, it's now saying to drive to this particular BP Polar and charge 18 minutes, then the Shell for 13 minutes. So it even shows you the cost, 8.78 in euros. Which is pretty cool. So yeah, there's lots of different ways of doing it, and I think I had one of those charging stops added as a waypoint by mistake. But let's try Edinburgh. So all the way up to Scotland, and see what it comes up with. Okay, so that's loaded the route to Edinburgh, and you can see there's two options here on the screen. I have told it, so I'm actually going to up this to, so 30% would take me to this location first, but that's unrealistic. So say for example I charged up to 90%, and then let's head off on that basis, because if you were going to go to Edinburgh, you probably would give the car a good charge before, so and let that recalculate. Okay, so leaving home with 90%, drive for 1 hour and 40 minutes, 103 miles to Milton Keynes Ionity, and we'll charge up from 30 to 48%, 7 minutes it's saying, then an hour and 4 minutes to Birmingham Armada, and then an hour and 27 to this location, 32 minutes, and then an hour and 42 to another Ionity. So it's lots of it's quite a lot of short chunks with lots of stops, arriving with 10%. So the interesting thing here is 7 hours and 40 minutes, and we need to then do 1 hour and 19 minutes, adding up to 8:59. So that's pretty cool. Now I could actually tap on this and let's go back. Milton, this might be one that I'd like to reject, to be honest. And I can't remember where you do it. So this is, yeah, we go, avoid this charger. So that's to avoid that particular one, and I'll allow it. And then you could go prefer or avoid Ionity, and you could say never use this network, which I think is probably a foolish thing. I think I'll go back to don't care, because the thing is that you don't want to limit yourself too much, but I wouldn't personally choose to go to Ionity, so I would probably rework my route a little bit. But yeah, this is the information it gives you, which is really cool. And now you can click start. I clicked on the table just to, this shows you like the full-on data if you want to see that. But having click start, this now gives us a really nice graph. It's something that we don't have, this kind of data. This is something you have on the Tesla by default anyway within the display, but it's basically showing this plan is no longer viable. View alternate. So it's decided to change that. And I wonder, oh, it's because, yeah, it's gone with my current state of charge. So rather than theoretical, because I started the route, it's gone, oh, he's actually got 53%. So yeah, it's showing 53%, and then the decline in energy as we go through this drive down to 16% over the 63 miles. And then it's going to say to charge up there, the Beaconsfield Ionity. So it's a really cool system. I like it a lot. There's a lot of information. If you click mode there, you can go into a more simple view, showing the 53% there down to 16% on our way up to Edinburgh. There's so much you can do with this app, and please bear in mind that I'm not an expert. I don't use this app a lot, but it is nice to see that it's available here in the Polestar. So I hope this video has been helpful. That's just my overview on A Better Route Planner. This is a really great app. It's the first really good app, to be honest, that's been released for the Polestar, for the Android Automotive system. The music apps are great, but this is the only app that's come out since I've had the car that is actually something worth talking about. But please bear in mind, I'm not an expert on this app. The configuration and settings and the way it suggests chargers, you can configure a lot of that yourself and make it a lot better. It is very open to customization and configuration by the user, and it's a great alternative to Google Maps. Google Maps is great on the day with the traffic, the live information, and of course it's free to use, but A Better Route Planner is much better for planning ahead, and you can create an account and use it on your phone, which you can then log in on the car, and so you can go between the two. And if you drive a lot, you do a lot of long drives, signing up for a premium subscription would probably be worthwhile to get the weather update and the traffic. So yeah, I hope this video has been useful, and I'll be back again with another video very soon. Thank you.